Welcome to a special comprehensive deep dive into what is arguably the most electrifying storyline of the 2026 tennis season. If you clicked on a link promising a free, live, and likely soon-to-be taken down stream of the Wimbledon round of 16 clash between Alex Eala and Jasmine Paolini, you are not alone. Millions of fans across the globe are frantically searching for a way to witness history in the making on the hallowed grass courts of the All England Club. The digital frenzy surrounding this match is unprecedented, driven not just by the high stakes of a Grand Slam second week, but by the sheer, unadulterated shockwaves generated in the previous rounds. Today, we are not just previewing a tennis match. We are dissecting a cultural phenomenon, a clash of generations, and a testament to the unpredictable, thrilling nature of professional sports. Tomorrow, July the 6th, 2026, the tennis world will stand still as 21-year-old Filipino sensation Alex Eala steps onto the court to face the formidable, battle-tested 13th seed from Italy, Jasmine Paolini. The narrative leading up to this exact moment is nothing short of cinematic. On one side of the net, you have a young prodigy who just executed one of the most astonishing upsets in Wimbledon history by dethroning the defending champion, IGA Swiatek. On the other side, you have a seasoned, gritty tactician in Palini, whose steady, powerful baseline game has systematically dismantled her opposition over the past week. But beyond the forehand and the backhands, beyond the slice serves and the baseline rallies, this match represents a collision of dreams. It is a pride of the Philippines, a nation starved for Grand Slam singles glory, going head-to-head with the unrelenting spirit of Italian tennis. In this extensive broadcast, we're going to break down every single facet of this monumental encounter. We will trace the distinct paths both women have taken to reach the second week of the world's most prestigious tournament. We will analyze the tactical nuances that will decide the outcome, reflecting on a previous encounter in Dubai earlier this year. We will also dive into the fascinating, chaotic world of online sports broadcasting that inspired the very title of this video, the cat-and-mouse game of live sports streaming in the modern digital age. Settle in, because we are leaving no stone unturned. This is your ultimate, definitive preview and deep dive into the Wimbledon 2026 round of 16 blockbuster between Alex Eala and Jasmine Paolini. To truly understand the magnitude of this upcoming match, we first have to talk about the absolute earthquake that Alexandra Eala just caused in the tennis landscape. Let us rewind just a bit to the third round. Eala, entering the tournament as a 29th seed, was slated to face the ultimate titan of the current era, the world number 3 and defending Wimbledon champion, IGA Swiatek. For many, this was supposed to be the end of the road for the young Filipina. Swiatek is a machine, a multi-time Grand Slam champion whose defensive prowess and heavy topspin usually suffocate younger players. But center court at Wimbledon has a funny way of leveling the playing field, and grass as a surface is notoriously unforgiving to those who cannot adapt to its low bounces and lightning-fast skids. Eala did not just adapt, she thrived. The opening set of that third-round match was an 84-minute masterclass in psychological warfare. Swiatek drew first blood, breaking Eala to take a 2-1 lead. In a lesser player, the nerves would have set in, the errors would have piled up, and the set would have slipped away. But Eala showcased a level of maturity that bellies her 21 years. She broke right back. She used her lethal left-handed forehand, hitting flat and penetrating shots that cut through the thick London air and skidded aggressively off the turf, robbing Swiatek of the time she desperately needs to set up her heavy strokes. They traded blows all the way to an agonizingly tense tiebreak. At 9-all in that tiebreak, with the weight of the world on her shoulders, Eala stayed incredibly composed. She saved 2 set points earlier on, and on her own 4-set point, she watched as a frustrated Swiatek sent a forehand long, securing the tiebreak 11-9. That singular moment fundamentally altered the trajectory of the tournament. Taking that first set gave Eala an impenetrable shield of confidence. In the second set, she absolutely steamrolled the defending champion. She broke Swiatek to love in the opening game, capitalizing on a malfunctioning Polish forehand, and raced to a staggering 4-0 lead. Even when Swiatek mustered the pride of champion to pull one break back, Eala did not flinch. She broke again, setting up a climax that had the entire crowd on the edge of their seats. Serving for the match, Eala faced 4 break points in a grueling final game. She erased every single one of them. On her 3rd match point, she unleashed a blinding cross-court forehand winner, dropping to her knees as she secured a 7-6, 6-2 victory. The statistics from that match tell the story of a fearless competitor. 24 winners, just 21 unforced errors, and an incredible mental fortitude to save 8 of the 11 break points she faced. Eala did not just beat the defending champion. She outplayed her, outthought her, and outfought her. This monumental achievement makes Alex Eala the very first player from the Philippines to reach the 2nd week of a Grand Slam in the Open era. The cultural impact of this cannot be overstated. The Philippines is a country whose sporting heartbeat has long been dominated by basketball, boxing, and billiards. Tennis has always been a niche, a sport admired from afar, but rarely conquered on the global stage by one of their own. Eala's rise is changing that narrative single-handedly. Her victory caught the attention of global icons, with Billie Jean King herself taking to social media to praise the young star's fearless performance. Back home, streets practically emptied as people tuned in to watch her navigate the perilous waters of center court. The pressure she carries is immense. She is not just playing for ranking points or prize money. She is carrying the sporting aspirations of over 100 million people. Every time her racket strikes the ball, it resonates across an archipelago that is now wildly, passionately awake to the sport of tennis. But as incredible as Eala's journey has been, the road to the Wimbledon quarterfinals is blocked by a player who thrives on dismantling dreams. Let us turn our analytical lens to Jasmine Paolini. The Italian 13th seed is a quintessential late bloomer, a player whose relentless work ethic and tactical intelligence have allowed her to carve out a magnificent career in an era dominated by taller, more powerful athletes. Paolini's 2026 season has been a testament to her consistency and her grit. While many view her as a clay court specialist, given her exceptional runs in Stuttgart, Madrid, and the French Open, she has completely silenced her critics with her performance on the British grass this year. Paolini's path to the 4th round has been a masterclass in efficiency and problem-solving. In the 1st round, she dispatched the dangerous American Robin Montgomery. Montgomery, known for her big serve, pushed Palini, but the Italian's defensive skills and ability to neutralize power were on full display as she secured the win. In the 2nd round, she faced a veteran Swiss player Viktorija Golubic, securing a tight 7-6, 6-4 victory by outlasting Golubic in the longer, more complex rallies. But it was Paolini's 3rd round performance against a highly ranked Greek superstar Maria Sakkari that truly announced her intentions. Paolini absolutely dismantled Sakkari, winning 6-1, 6-2 in a match that lasted barely over an hour. Paolini won 12 games in that match, limiting Sakkari to a mere 3, and completely neutralizing the Greeks' aggressive baseline game. Paolini's footwork on the grass has been a revelation. She stays low, keeps her balance perfectly on a surface that often causes slips and slides, and uses the pace of her opponents against them. When we look at the tactical matchup between Alex Eala and Jasmine Paolini, we are looking at a fascinating contrast of styles, and heavily dictated by a very recent, highly relevant piece of history. These two actually met earlier this year on the hard courts of the Dubai Tennis Championships back in February. Eala took that encounter in straight sets, winning 6-1, 7-5. In that match, Eala's ability to dictate play with her left-handed spin caused monumental problems for Palini. The Italian struggled to find a rhythm against Eala's aggressive returning, committing double faults and failing to protect her 2nd serve. Eala won an astounding 55% of points on Palini's 2nd serve in that Dubai clash. However, we must approach that historical data with extreme caution because grass is an entirely different beast. The dynamics of a grass court tennis match fundamentally alter the physics of the ball. Eala's flat, penetrating shots are heavily rewarded on grass because the ball simply does not bounce high enough for the opponent to get under it comfortably. This is precisely how she dismantles Swiatek. When Eala rips her left-handed forehand cross-court, it skids away from Paolini's two-handed backhand, forcing the Italian to hit up on the ball, inevitably leaving short balls for Eala to step in and put away. Furthermore, Eala's serve has found a new gear. Against Swiatek, she placed her serves immaculately, sliding the ball out wide on the ad court, a classic lefty advantage that is amplified on the slick Wimbledon turf. But Paolini is nothing if not a brilliant tactician. She and her coaching team will have watched the tape of Eala's victory over Swiatek meticulously. Paolini knows she cannot get into a flat-hitting contest from the baseline. Instead, she will look to use her phenomenal court coverage to extend the rallies, testing Eala's patience and forcing the young Filipina to play an extra ball. Paolini will likely employ a high volume of backhand slices, keeping the ball exceptionally low, daring Eala to generate her own pace from ankle height. Furthermore, Paolini's return of serve will be critical. If she can neutralize Eala's initial strike and get the point back to neutral, her superior stamina and experience in grueling matches could tilt the scales in her favor. Paolini is a fighter. She scrambles, she defends, and she possesses an uncanny ability to transition from defense to offense with a single swing of her forehand. Another critical factor in this match is the mental landscape. Alex Eala is flying high on adrenaline and the euphoria of a career-defining win. But in professional tennis, the most dangerous match is often the one immediately following a massive upset. The emotional letdown, the sudden shift in expectations, the media frenzy, all of these elements can drain a player's nervous energy before they even step onto the court. Eala must quickly hit the reset button. She is no longer the massive underdog with nothing to lose. She is now the favorite in the eyes of many, holding a previous win over her opponent and bearing the expectations of an entire nation. Can she handle that psychological shift? On the flip side, Jasmine Paolini thrives in the shadows. She is the higher seed, yet she is flying under the radar because all the media attention is focused on the young phenom she is facing. Paolini is comfortable being the antagonist, the veteran looking to school the rising star. She will not be intimidated by Eala's recent giant-killing act. Paolini has been on the tour long enough to know that every given Sunday, or in this case Monday, is a blank slate. Her focus will be unwavering, her game plan rigid, and her execution relentless. Now, we need to take a momentary detour to address the elephant in the room, which is the very title of the broadcast that brought many of you here. Watch free before it's taken down. That phrase is a hallmark of the modern sports consumption era. We live in a time where global broadcasting rights for events like Wimbledon are locked behind incredibly expensive, geographically restricted paywalls. Networks like Sky Sports, ESPN, WOW, and Sony Live pay astronomical sums, often hundreds of millions of dollars, for the exclusive rights to broadcast these matches in specific territories. Consequently, millions of passionate fans, particularly in developing nations or regions where tennis is not traditionally broadcast on free-to-air television, are entirely priced out or geo-blocked from watching their national heroes compete on the world stage. This creates an enormous, desperate demand for accessibility, which is inevitably filled by the gray market of the internet. The phrase, "watch free before it's taken down," speaks to the frantic, ephemeral nature of pirate sports broadcasting. Rogue streaming sites and unauthorized YouTube streams pop up moments before a match begins, utilizing sophisticated workarounds to broadcast a live feed. It becomes an intense game of digital whack-a-mole. The broadcasters employ aggressive copyright enforcement bots that scour the internet, identifying proprietary video feeds and issuing immediate Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA, takedown notices. An unauthorized stream might last for 10 minutes, an entire set, or it might vanish right at match point, leaving tens of thousands of viewers staring at a black screen with a copyright infringement warning. The fact that so many people are actively searching for a free stream of the Alex Eala versus Jasmine Paolini match is incredibly revealing. It underscores a monumental global interest in this specific narrative. It highlights how sports figures, particularly those breaking new ground for their countries like Eala, transcend traditional viewership demographics. The fans searching for these streams are not malicious. They are just desperately passionate. They want to witness history, to feel connected to a national triumph, without having to navigate a labyrinth of expensive monthly subscriptions. While the unauthorized streaming of copyrighted material is fundamentally illegal and damages the economic structure that funds the sport, its prevalence is a glaring indicator of a broken distribution model. It forces us to ask, in an increasingly connected world, how do we ensure that moments of profound cultural and sporting significance remain accessible to the very people they mean the most to? Returning our focus strictly to the tennis, the stakes for this round of 16 encounter are staggering. For Jasmine Paolini, a victory means solidify her status as an elite, all-surface threat at this stage in her career. Making a deep run at Wimbledon would be a crowning achievement, silencing any lingering doubts about her ability to translate her clay court prowess to the fastest surface in tennis. It would represent a triumph of perseverance, a reward for years of grinding on the tour, refining her game, and believing in her tactical superiority. For Alex Eala, the implications are almost unimaginable. A win puts her in the quarterfinals of Wimbledon. It catapults her ranking, ensures direct entry into virtually every major tournament on the calendar, and cements her status as the absolute future of Asian tennis. She is no longer just a prospect. She is a present-day reality, a force of nature that the established order must reckon with. When the umpire calls time, and these two athletes walk to the baseline, the tactical theories and the historical narratives will evaporate. It will come down to execution under unimaginable pressure. Will Eala's searing flat ground strokes find their mark, painting the lines and rushing Palini into errors? Or will Paolini's exceptional footwork, varied spins, and relentless defensive scrambling force Eala into the kind of unforced errors that swamped IGA Swiatek? It is power versus precision, youth versus experience, the unbridled momentum of a historic upset against the calculated, cold-blooded consistency of a tour veteran. As we wrap up this extensive deep dive into the Eala-Palini Wimbledon showdown, we are left with a profound sense of anticipation. This is the beauty of Grand Slam tennis. The draw opens up, the established giants fall, and the sport provides a global stage for new heroes to emerge and established veterans to prove their enduring worth. Whatever the outcome on center court, the ramifications of this match will echo far beyond the pristine lawns of London. For the Philippines, a new sporting icon has definitively arrived. For Italy, the quiet consistency of their tennis renaissance continues to bear fruit. Thank you for joining me for this comprehensive analysis. Whether you are watching through an official broadcaster, catching the highlights, or navigating the chaotic waters of internet streams, make sure you do not miss a single point of this encounter. The clash between Alex Eala and Jasmine Paolini is destined to be a tactical thriller, a mental battleground, and a defining chapter in the story of the 2026 tennis season. Enjoy the match. Appreciate the history being made, and we will see you on the other side to break down the aftermath of what promises to be an unforgettable battle.